everyone, and welcome to the Overwatch League playoffs here 2023 in Toronto. Of course, I'm Golden Boy. I'll be your stage host for this week, and I'm so excited to be back home with my Overwatch family. This is going to be an incredible week of gameplay. Are you guys excited? Yeah! Now, our 8 teams have clawed their way to this point right here to hoist this trophy over their head and call themselves champions. And the journey starts right now. Put your hands together for the Hangzhou Spark! And their opponents, the Atlanta Reign! And now it's time to send it over to your casters. It's Leg Day and Lemon Kiwi.
Oh, Canada. It's good to be back. And we start with the battle of East and West. The Hangzhou Spark versus the Atlanta Reign, 2 teams that have rose to the top of their regions.
Absolutely. Atlanta Reign have been at the top basically all year, including during mid-season madness. But the Hangzhou Spark, they are coming in hot. They have recently hit their stride. They did so well in our knockouts, and they did it off the back of Guxue doing some innovation. We thought that Guxue was maybe one of the best Winstons in the world, but also bringing out the Doomfist in a meta where it's anybody's game, anybody's meta, and there's no true interpretation just yet. You can really expect some surprises from the Hangzhou Spark. This one is not clear-cut.
It's not, and you heard it from the desk. We're going to find out a lot of information today in this very first match about what people are playing in this patch. Because you thought, oh, everyone's going to be signing Zaryas, it's Zarya Genji, and you just weren't sure what to expect. But now we have such a diverse meta. Doomfist, Zarya, Orisa, Winston, so much is on the table, and Spark have proved to be flexible. Atlanta, one of the most flexible teams. Their favorite number is number 1 because they've just won everything since Pro-Am.
Yeah, just a win after win after win. The crowd are excited. East and West are arrayed. Our entire Overwatch family here in Toronto are arrayed. We are ready to get in as soon as possible because the Overwatch League playoffs, Lemon, for 2023 are about to begin.
Oh. It's almost a $2 million prize pool. There's so much pressure on this stage. This is only the 2nd international event. And we might be a bit biased for APAC casting over there, and we know that APAC didn't show up in the ways that they wanted to at the mid-season. And speaking of the mid-season, Atlanta Reign faced the Spark at that time, 3-0'd them. But this is a different time, a different story, a different patch, and we begin on Atlanta Reign's favorite map of Ilios.
Hangzhou Spark are happy to be going here as well. Both of these teams love some Ilios, but as Videsk alluded to, what Atlanta Reign are looking for here is potentially a dive versus dive mirror, and Ilios can basically guarantee that. We've seen plenty of Hangzhou Spark play on Ilios as well. They love to run Leave on the Echo. It's one of his best heroes, and of course, he grew up amongst the pantheon of Echoes back in 2020 when Fleta got MVP and an Echo skin alongside it because it was just so iconic. But Stalker, one of the newer kids on the block, scouted out by Gator from Seoul Dynasty before, also has a fantastic Echo.
I'm excited. Ilios, the home of Echoes. We could even see the Tracer paired up with that. Where Stalker's stats, #1 Tracer in the world, undisputed. Donghak versus Guxue. Oh, these are some fantastic Winstons. Guxue, I'm looking forward to seeing some Doomfist, maybe in some later maps. For now, we're looking like a dive mirror. Hello.
It's a very happy and comfortable medium for both of these teams.
And our first map of the Overwatch League playoffs begins now. The Spark versus the Reign. Will the Spark rewrite the story? That chapter that they failed at last time, it begins on Lighthouse. And we do have that dive mirror that we talked about. Lip facing off against Shy. Stalker versus Leave. And it's a dive already from Guxue. Sets Stalker back. He's been anti-2, but Lip wins the Tracer duel.
Leave going up against Shy. Those two classic hit scans having to pick it up as their flex friends have taken over the Echoes instead. And it's Lip who's able to get some early progress here onto the objective. And that's going to mean that it should be a first cap here for the Atlanta Reign, because moving in to try and contest this for Hangzhou Spark is going to be a touch too difficult, and it would overextend them into a punishable position.
Small cap there for the Reign. Shio, Anti, Donghak, hello. They're going to give some space over to the Spark as Monk supporting Guxue, making sure Stalker stays in his corner. But Spark maybe sending Shy to pressure that corner. Fielder in trouble. You see Spark moving up to take back this objective. Shy with the pressure. Guxue gone though, not able to support him. But the Reign have all the kills, all the control, and the Spark have to escape again.
Kill after kill at the hands of Lip. These aggressive dives from Donghak have continually forced Leave to try and peel back and get that extra damage onto the Winston that has allowed some significant safety for Fielder and Chio, and that means Fielder has a little bit of an advantage towards that nano boost as well. But first up on the docket is going to be a duel of pulse bombs. Remember that Shy and Lip are going to be continually wrestling for dominance over this objective.
Oh, Stalker is nanoed and he's doing work. He beats Leave, spotting that Tracer of Shy. The pulse bomb did not land, but Stalker just has his number. He's looming and searching for prey. The Atlanta Reign are untouched so far on Lighthouse, 60% and growing. Spark has to make something big happen with this rally in Nano.
Yeah, but Atlanta Reign have plenty of resources to try and force those out early, including a prime rage from Donghak, so we can dive so aggressively. Shy right now going up against Lip, but it's been continually Lip who's winning this. Just moves away to grab a repair pack, and now Hangzhou Spark is starting to pressure the objective.
This could be the last fight if Spark don't pull something out. Donghak sending the supports back as best as he can, causing chaos, but that's where the Spark thrive. They rally around Lexa, but he then pulls left, removes the supports. The Atlanta Reign looking for a flawless Ilios so far.
It's as easy as it gets for Lip. He's starting off his campaign for a championship, a second one for himself, rather early here. This should be 100-0. Atlanta Reign have come with a message for you, Toronto. They want to be here all 4 days. They want to bask in the adoration of the crowd. And with performances like this, who wouldn't love it?
100-0. 0 deaths from Lip, Stalker, Fielder, and Chio. 1 death only from the Atlanta Reign, and it was Donghak. Spark need to coalesce on a target. You know they have the talent, the mechanics. Don't let the stage get to you.
5 out of 8 final blows for Lip as well. A little bit of a flat deadlift going on, but it's early days yet. Well is next up, and it seems like both of our teams are likely going to be sticking with the same old classic compositions. Ilios is almost like a time capsule for earlier in our year when everyone was playing plenty of Sombra, and you know someone who loves to play that Sombra, the man himself. Lip is returning on his most vaunted of heroes, so Hangzhou Spark's backline is in danger.
Round point for the Atlanta Reign, back to their signature comp. The one that everybody has been trying to mirror. and perfect the same way. Lip behind Monk, he's by Shy, and Monk may not be attended to, but there's Linksa who has his back. Meanwhile, while that Summer may be gone, that could be a moment for this tempo engage to take place for the Spark. And look, Shy puts Chio down, but Shy gets punished in the process. You're left with a 4v3 now in favor of the Spark. And Donghak knows he has to reset quickly, doesn't want to give up time, and the first point goes to the Spark.
Getting that opening pick was just so crucial. After you see Chio fall down, that means that Guxue is far more free to try and get onto his squishy members or harass Donghak while everyone is looking over towards the leave. It was a fantastic pocket from Monk, and that's rewarded him with a bunch of ult charge to try and make this work. Just 25% away from a nano, and finally it'll be Hangzhou Spark who can try and pull the trigger first.
Oh, Monk is hacked. He is such a target. Atlanta Reign still have been able to kill him, and Donghak, who wanted the pressure with the team, is killed off by Shy. And now you're seeing those eliminations, that focus coming in from the Spark. You knew when they pulled together, they could pull it all off. And there's Nano from Monk to Guxue to make sure this choke is sealed up. And the Atlanta Reign have yet to really make a dent in this point.
Yeah, just continually going for Monk, but Monk playing inside does mean that Fielder cannot get LOS to actually give over something like a biotic grenade, so Linksa can always freely heal Monk and make sure that he stays standing for as long as is necessary. And now Shy can try and harass the entry here from Rain. Lip is 10% away from an EMP, but can the rest of Rain get into the fight to make it worthwhile?
And Lip is also trying to backcap, so it looks like the Spark's focus has stayed uniform, has stayed forward. The Atlanta Reign are getting pushed back at spawn. Well, what a flip around from 100 to 0 to the Spark looking to get their revenge. And they have the ults to even keep this up. The Atlanta Reign have to make this EMP go big.
Hangzhou Spark are making Atlanta play to a beat of their drum now. It's always going to be an earlier engagement from Hangzhou Spark. That's a beautiful sleep, though. Shy is in danger, and Linksa's dead.
EMP hit Linksa and didn't feel like popping the rally, but no supports for Spark. Doesn't matter how many you hit. The Atlanta Reign coming to finally showing some signs of life here on Well to maybe flip this back over, but Shy and Guxue are still alive. Guxue still believes he's popped Primal. He thinks reinforcements can get back in time. Linksa and Shy surely are around the corner. The rally, Linksa now back involved. Could be popping this if they need to. They know this can be an extended fight. That is the recipe of control. The Atlanta Reign have only two tools left, and it's the Nano to Donghak, stuffing the Spark where they came from. Chio with the rally trying to support, but that bubble from Guxue is blocking off the main choke, and the Atlanta Reign know that if they give this up, the point is going to the Spark.
Stalker caught by Shy. Banana coming through onto Guxue. He's got squishies in his sights. Down goes a pulse on Chio. Blocks it on out. Unable to survive for long against the Tesla coil. And there's no touch. 100 to 0 meets 100 to 0.
Uno reverse. And we settle the score on round 3 on Ruins. One team will be ruined after this. The desk was all 3-0, 3-1 Atlanta Reign. Just because the venue is red doesn't mean you had to predict red, but I know Zoe got that nice contract, so I understand.
Yeah, it's understandable. Doesn't mean it's forgivable.
That's true. We don't have to forgive them. That's why they put us on the other side of the venue.
Exactly. We've got to get some space between us and the desk. All of that love for the Western teams. Hangzhou Spark, sure, it's a little bit different here. I don't know if Iliari is going to be coming out long term, but certainly would be interesting. Linksa is known not only as a main support, but also having a pocket bat pick, which is going to be super interesting here. Hangzhou Spark bringing out something entirely different. This is entirely nouveau meta compared to Atlanta Reign, who were playing old classic that didn't work out for them on Well.
I know Creed, the coach of Spark, was telling me he was cooking up something special for the Reign, and I don't think they like the taste of it. Shy, I don't think he likes Lip very much either. He's got to watch his back. Physically, morally, Lip also has access to the Mega, so he can certainly take Shy's attention away until he backhands him. 4v4. Donghak, though, made his way forward, so the Atlanta Reign still trying to cap and hasn't been successful yet. Chio has to be careful to not get speared off the map. That would be ideal. Guxue is pushing in like a bulldozer, like a truck, all up in Donghak's face. The Atlanta Reign have more than enough kills to make this work, but hold up a minute. 3 versus 2 only for the Atlanta Reign. Looks like they got the cap and they'll be left alone for now.
Yeah, Lib gets back real fast when coming in stuff, and now Donghack's walked over as well. Instead of playing the Winston, moving over to the Doomfist. This does allow him to move between these targets a little bit more easily and easier assaults onto this backline because he can punch Lengza out of that immortality field. This does mean that Monk's not going to be given any space here as he's struggling to get a good amount of poke out, as you can see reflected in his current ult charge. On the other side, Fielder almost has Nano.
Donghack trying to displace these comfortable members in the back. Obviously wanting to dodge and he fortify the spear. That Orisa can really lock that Doomfist down if Donghack is not careful. Atlanta Reign are not looking so healthy. They gotta take a second, especially Fielder and Gio! Shy hits the headshot! Fielder, the Nano, gone! Will the Atlanta Reign hold? They got more than enough real estate, but Lib close to that EMP could be what seals the deal and extends this even more for the Atlanta Reign.
Pylon goes down onto the point. Rally going to be popped out here by Gio. Both teams believe it to be winnable. The Sunstruck is given over to Donghack, but it's easy to block.
Gio just gets run over by the captive son, by Guxue, and Spark have their presence known. Monk shows you how it's done.
All right, no 100-0 this time around. Back and forth as now Guxue is going to be incredibly difficult to take away from this point, and Hangzhou Spark can play in these defensive positions where the poke of Monk, Lengza, and Shy is going to do so much. Lengza getting picked is real bad because Lipsla's EMP.
That is the win conditions. First time with Donghack. Let's see what we get with this Nano, and Monk has been isolated. Shy there by his side to apply the pressure. Donghack by his Mega, but he's hacked. But no, actually, he Meteor strikes out. And he's not going to safety. He's going for your backline. And there is the EMP to follow up from Lip. Stalker's on the fight. Do Atlanta Reign have the damage? Spark, hold off the storm. That is the Atlanta Reign until Stalker gets back. Atlanta Reign still have control. It's 80% plus. It's his last fight for map 1.
Terra Surge available for Guxue. Can control this point, make sure that no one can really step onto it. If charging it up all the way, and Donghack going down means it's space galore for the Hangzhou Spark.
Spark can keep themselves alive. Good spear by Guxue. And now with the, oh wait, Stalker with 2. This is maybe winnable for Atlanta. Spark do get the point back, but Atlanta, no. Oh, they just locked into the Terra Surge. They drop down low, Guxue on fire, and Donghack trying to dodge that smoke. But Spark have to do so much work to close the gap in the score.
Another captive son ready to go here for Monk. Remember, it can be blocked by shield, so Chio's going to be one of the main sources of that kind of protection here for Atlanta Reign. But Atlanta just going to have to play this one slow. Maybe look for a 99 to 95% fight. They're not close to any ultimates. And they simply want to try and drain Hangzhou Spark's resources and their Qs before a final fight to control this map is going to go down.
Spark doing some scouting there with Leave. There's the hack onto Donghack. Just blocks and respects that. Spark pressuring. They have Guxue ready on the point. Captive Son, not sure if it really marked anyone, but Atlanta Reign taking a step back once they've lost Lip. Donghack has already punched away, and Spark back in the driver's seat, 80% plus. This is final fight.
Fielder and Chio for legendary support duo are going to be who really makes this happen. And Nano and a Rally are going to be available. We've got to fight Bob on point, which is going to be really difficult for a flanker-based composition, but doesn't have the damage to really burn him.
Lip just had the translocate back in the tempo. Setback by the Atlanta Reign. They want to generate this EMP ASAP. They have the Nano to work with. And it goes to Donghack. He needs to sustain. He's up against Guxue. That is a wall you do not want to punch through, but making his way to the supports against Smunk. You got the hacks of Leave to try and push back Donghack, who forces out the Meteor Strike, landing in the back. Lake's uncomfortable, has the immortality to keep him up. All the ultimates come through. And so, the Stalker, when Atlanta needed him the most, the double kill gives Atlanta Reign map 1.
The Stalker Show is well and truly alive at playoffs. The legendary Tracer hits the pulse bomb when it's needed the most. Guxue, somewhat perturbed by this, but it's far from over for the Hangzhou Spark. And, well, from 100 to 0, this has become a lot closer than we imagined. A strike back from Hangzhou Spark, and then 99 to 100. Critically, Hangzhou Spark did allow for that point to flip in the middle of the fight, which meant they had to continually give up their high ground positions and release themselves into the clutches of those flankers to continue touching.
Stalker almost 10k damage, the most in the lobby. And you saw Shy went to the Ash to just see if they could poke down the Atlanta Reign before they got to them, there would be a chance. And Spark, survived a lot on Ruins, despite how much Donghack was just on top of them the entire time. Spark, maybe just the nerves getting to them in map 1. They don't get international events like this very often, especially one with this much money on the line. So Spark got it together in round 2 for 100-0 snowball. That was insane.
Yeah, taking it back to what Vadesk said, Atlanta Reign, they wished for dive versus dive. That's where they're at their best, and Ilios almost guaranteed it with the exception of Ruins. But now, Hangzhou Spark are going to be able to choose where we go for our second map, and we've got to see what kind of surprises might be up with the sleeves of Hangzhou Spark. They're going to play a little bit more Doomfist like they did against Fidalos Yul. Would they prefer to continue playing this Orisa that was shown off on Ruins? Picking coming for the Hangzhou Spark. And how will Atlanta be feeling about this as well? We know that Atlanta are a very versatile team.
And I think the last time these two teams met, Spark are humble. They realize that in the dive mirror, in the Winston mirror, they may not match up well. They choose to go to Midtown. Now, Alari has been a pick that the Spark have brought out on Ruins. They really like bringing out Alari on these maps that have these kind of small high grounds like Midtown. You saw the creativity that the Spark have had to try and not go back to that Winston, your wrists, or just really anything to counter what Atlanta have cooked up. That's been the recipe to, well, success in quotations for Spark, although it didn't work out in map 1.
Yeah, we can start brainstorming some compositions here. There's going to be plenty of time to do so. So why not take a little bit of a break and figure out what's going to be played?
Atlanta Reign take map number 1 on Ilios, collecting dubs, collecting awards, both in MVPs, Rookie of the Years, the Esports Awards. The Atlanta Reign seem destined to win this championship, but will it actually happen?
Well, that's the dream for the Atlanta Reign. We've been shooting so close to it for so many years, and it seems like Coach Gator finally got all of the pieces that he needed. One excellent scout to bring in Donghack to find Stalker, taking him out from under the shadow of Prophet. That's a hard place to be as a DPS. Some would say that Prophet's the GOAT, and Stalker kind of was living in his shadow on Seoul Dynasty, but he's finally got to shine as much as his talent does deserve here on the Atlanta Reign. Of course, this backline is just unfathomably good. So deadly, but also so survivable. And that's part of the reason why we saw Atlanta be able to bring out as much power as they did in those previous maps.
And guess who? It's Pineapple subbing in for Langsa on support. And I told y'all, I had the crystal ball. Maybe some Alari, maybe some Kiriko. Pineapple used to be a DPS player, and it's kind of this era where DPS players are taking over all the roles, taking all the jobs.
Yeah, DPS, they're diversifying. We're outsourcing support to the DPS now, especially with these aim-heavy ones like Alari and Kiriko, as you noted. That's what we've seen thus far from Pineapple. I believe he's played on Circuit Royale previously, but Midtown is another one of these maps where teams can get incredibly poke-happy. You see things like the Soldier here, the Bastion, the Torbjorn even, and even some teams liking to play the Sigma to facilitate those poke comps and have a huge amount of like mid-range brawl, as well as the capacity for that stun to shut down dives.
Atlanta Reign have struggled on this map before. They've been just that Winston dive team. And on the initial point, when you have that Metro, if you are just stuck at that point, you ideally don't want to jump over it. You just don't know what's on the other side. It's not the type of box of chocolates you want to open. And if you're stuck in a low ceiling area, Winston has a hard time brawling, especially against any other better brawler like an Orisa, a Sigma, a Ramatra. So I wonder if Spark have identified this, and obviously are picking to their strengths, and that's why they have Pineapple in.
Like Guxue, of course, there's always questions to what he's going to be playing. He's demonstrated that he's far from a Winston one-trick, but doesn't have too deep a pull when it comes to these off-tanks. Usually it's the main tanks where we see Guxue play. We've seen Wine from him this season. We saw Orisa in just the previous map, and of course, plenty of Doomfist, including on this map in particular against the Dallas Fuel.
Oh, I was about to bring that up. I was like, I don't think the Dallas Fuel fans want to hear this, but
do not mention the Guxue Doomfist!
Oh, the Guxue Doomfist. Something of miracles. I mean, him, Hawk, Dante, the most respectable Doomfist, and I'm hoping we see more of that. That was even during the Bastion meta. Guxue was bringing that out, tossing the Dallas Fuel, and that was one of their strongest maps, one that they've beaten a top team in APAC so many times. But the Atlanta Reign are a different beast. Will Atlanta Reign go flawless? It was a slugfest for map 1 though.
It was back and forth, both teams being able to find their dominant streaks, and then a slobber knocker to finish it off 99 to 100. Midtown does await. This is, of course, the Hangzhou Sparks map pick. It's where they feel the most confident. It's where they want to flex their substitute. Remember as well, Atlanta Reign has some depth on the bench as well. They've got Hawk and Vigilante in waiting. So when it comes to their compositions, they have a huge amount of resources at the disposal of Coach Gator.
And that's what's been so important about the Atlanta Reign. Their backroom change, you can tell, has made a world of a difference. Having former players of both Gator and Rascal, just being able to understand the mentality, what it takes to win, and how to study your opponent. The Atlanta Reign haven't really lost anything, but Spark are also on an 8-match win streak. We kind of forget how the work that they're doing in APAC.
Oh yeah. Spark, they're on a hot streak. The first half of their season may not have been the most inspiring. That's the Hangzhou Spark you saw at mid-season madness.
It's Midtown Map 2 in downtown Toronto with the Atlanta Reign leading the series and leading their way out the doors. It's the Doomfist, it's Donghack with the Genji Stalker and Lip on the Soldier. Now you got Chia with the poke. Won't be able to provide the speed as he usually does on the Lucio. And somehow Lip has already shot down Pineapple, who was maybe still just getting a pylon ready. So Atlanta Reign get a free rotation to the left. Spark better watch their back, especially with only one support. Shy facing off against Lip. And Spark are okay to recontest and give up that space, give up 2 picks if they need to.
Not good of a playoffs. Pineapple says Liv getting that early pick here, still being constantly peppered down here by Shy. You need to worry about this point. How are you going to touch this against the Doomfist? It's unlikely that Spark even can. It's almost a record time here for Atlanta Reign, almost bloodless with their take save Pineapple.
Yeah, Spark, just a bit of an oopsie, dropping, you know, Pineapple, the new sub. Sorry guys, I'm new out here.
Just get it warmed up.
Yeah.
Didn't have the right DPI.
And Guxue now can maybe hold close as the Orisa. Shy is, I mean, doing so much against Liv 2, both at 80% ult charge. The Matrix, the Monk, is going to be the first thing that emerges. They're already getting set up on bridge to have the most amount of coverage on the Atlanta Reign as possible. That's why Fielder and Shio are playing so safe around that corner, but the triggers pulled first by the Atlanta Reign. The Nano on Donghack face. Looking into the eyes of the Matrix by Monk, sends Atlanta Reign back a little bit, but as soon as that goes away, they try to jump over it to surprise the Spark, who holds strong on top of bridge.
Oh, great play there from Guxue to isolate Donghack away from the LOS of Fielder. Still, Stalker is going to be punished for going in too deep onto leave. Knew that he could try and get the finish there onto the low health Echo, but still stayed in for a touch too long, couldn't reflect the dynamite, and after that the damage was too far gone. And this is where we're really going to start to see problems for the Atlanta Reign, because they have to go up against a huge amount of poke from both Shy and Pineapple at range.
Great ultimates to start off the fight. Well, you know what starts off a fight? A good breakfast, a javelin in the mouth. Chio does not want that. Chio is gone, and Spark, I mean, could get more kills, but they're playing very conservative. They don't want to overextend. They don't know what's waiting for them around the corner.
And poking from this area is generally going to be pretty free for the Hangzhou Spark. There's not really much that can instantly take them out. They are coming close to a blade on the side of the Atlanta Reign, which could be a real issue. But where do you want to put your nano? Onto the visor or onto the blade? It's likely better on the blade.
And Guxue is playing down the stairs, and maybe can't really help if Donghack gets past him. You got the tactical visor of Liv, who took so much damage, couldn't get full value, and Spark get the coverage of the railings of the bridge to avoid that damage. Shy throws the bomb down to contest, and Donghack can't keep the space. He's a great climber, but Guxue on this Orisa is just an anchor. So Atlanta Reign deciding to push the objective. Spark can drop down behind them. They got to be careful.
Oh, pressure on this car is going to be very important here. Pineapple is going to be able to get away with their life, and Lip was caught in the middle of that.
Atlanta Reign were trying to confuse them. They pushed the cart. They went from one side to the other. Spark didn't know what to expect, but the CC that is available from an Orisa is enough to slow down the Atlanta Reign, allow Spark to get their bearings, and Lip's on Widow now.
Okay, for Lip on Widow, this is how you try and get past not being able to do enough damage to out-poke the turret of the Illari. Simply hit them with a headshot, make sure healing's not going to be an issue. What a catch from Guxue!
Oh, goodbye, Lip! Fielder 2, and Stalker thought that was a moment to Nanoblade trying to trade backlines. He's gonna kill Fielder.
The car.
Or he's gonna kill one of the supports of Spark, and the card almost at the end. And Leave with 2! Donghack is gone, and Reign will not cap.
Oh, Leaf puts that one to bed. But the second that Guxue goes that far forward, Atlanta Reign starts to exploit the gap in Hangzhou Spark's defense. Guxue's not fast enough to get back there, and this is going to force different positioning from the Hangzhou Spark. Now, Atlanta Reign should get fairly free control of a bridge, and this is going to allow Lip to set up in a pretty impenetrable position from which to rain down shots with impunity.
Guxue hasn't died yet, by the way. Now he's on the Winston. That can help them regain control of bridge. You can't let this Widow go uncontested. And the supports from Spark are doing what they can to hide, but Stalker is going to be behind, making sure he uncovers where you're hiding. And Donghack, insult to injury, the bob placed by Shy just to contest for a few more seconds, but that will be the Atlanta Reign capping B.
Guxue just could not make the jump onto Lip, didn't have the space or the resources to do it because Pineapple's getting consistently harassed by Stalker, and that's why these two DPS in particular work so well together for the Atlanta Reign. Both of them present such an unmitigable threat in each case. There is going to be a Captive Sun available here for Pineapple, and onto Fielder, that could prove incredibly deadly. But remember, when you're moving up in the air, you're an easy target for that sniper.
And Hangzhou are rotating heroes. I thought Shy was maybe going to swap off to match the Widow, leave from the Echo to the Sombra, and Lip snipes them. All right, Lip gets sniped, so Spark are ahead. And Guxue, here's a fearsome Doomfist, and Chio's feeling the pain. Guxue's got great support, and Donghack is hacked. Guxue punching him out cold, and Chio left unattended there with his fellow supports, and Spark will be slowing things down a bit.
Captive Sun doesn't show up as much of a kill feed, but what it does do is force Fielder and Chio to hide away, and that allows for openings onto Donghak and Stalker, who aren't getting consistently healed from a free LOS. Now the hostages have been executed by Leave, and with 2 minutes left, Atlanta Reign do have plenty of time to try and execute a well-placed Nano Blade combo, but first they've got to try and force out Monk's Sleep. That's going to likely be Donghak's job to try and get rid of these mitigation conditions.
Like, Shy is like overextending, getting random headshots. Even Stalker almost died. Atlanta Reign can't, you know, they got a good amount of time, but they can't afford to get staggered. And Leave can do some scouting, and EMP is available. It's the Nano Blade. Goodbye, Shy. Who else is home? Nobody. Nano Blade? 2 ults for 2 kills? Okay, now that's value. And the Reign catch Spark holding on a little too close. Now there's some progress.
Crucially though, Leave did not use the EMP in that fight. A retake here is going to be fairly easy to achieve, especially if Chio uses the rally early. That shield can be instantly smashed open by Leave's EMP. Donghak's been caught with the hang of a sleep.
Disgusting CC, like you said. Leave and Monk shutting that down quite quickly. Now you don't even need to use the EMP to stop this push, especially if Lip and Stalker are still hanging about. You see Guxue is going to see if he can find any CC. Other than that, Spark are chilling.
Winning this fight gets increasingly worrisome for the Atlanta Reign as well, because they're going up against almost a full cadre and stacked armory of ultimates from the Hangzhou Spark. Lib gets decimated! Oh, the Sombra, his signature hero. Okay, Leave, I see you.
And you gotta continue to believe, because he has an EMP and he's ready. Wants to spark this when Atlanta Reign are setting up. Guxue is scouting above, and the engagement almost ready, but Leave gets caught and wants all of his HP to continue, but killing Fielder is a great start to Spark. They've continued to get first bloods in these fights.
Guxue is playing incredibly aggressive here as well, forcing the Atlanta Reign to move into these less than ideal positions to try and chase him out, knowing that he can freely escape using that Meteor Strike. EMP versus EMP here, Lip's legendary ones, but Leave has been holding this for longer.
Less than 10 seconds for the Atlanta Reign push to continue or fall. As Lip wants his own EMP action, but wants that high ground, wants Guxue out of his face. Whole team's waiting for the other to pull the trigger. Guxue is in enemy lines with the Meteor Strike, and Shy picks up Stalker. Donghak has the Meteor Strike just to start the overtime. Here's the EMP from Leave, the Shy, Bob, and more. Lip can't slow down this pain train, and the Spark seal off point C.
What a combo from Leave and the substitute of Pineapple coming down from the top rope where he'd been playing that annoying off angle for so long with the Captive Sun, because they used the EMP to smash through the enlarged rally shield that Chio had out, meaning there was no chance of blocking that. Everyone who was in range of the cart hit with the Sun Strike, and after that the damage is just so hard to stop. So we could have stopped. Atlanta Reign stopped halfway through second point. This is far from over for them, but that's a clear win condition for Hangzhou.
It was great patience from the Spark to just not feel too antsy to use ultimates. It was just getting first picks about 2 or 3 times in a row, and Atlanta Reign did punish them. That's how they opened up point C when Spark were holding close. Atlanta Reign knew how to get behind them and get ahead in the fights. But man, this Lip versus Shy, Leave versus Stalker, whatever, the DPS matchups, the desk talked about these premier DPS duos. Lip and Stalker may be getting all the awards, but it's the Sparks DPS duo that also gets so much respect from the East, and Shy is disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. Unbelievable. Hangzhou Spark, of course, were one of the most hyped DPS duos coming into this year as well. Before everyone was kind of clued into just how good Stalker was, everyone looks at Shy and Leave as the best that China had to offer. Hangzhou Spark was just touted as the Chinese super team, and I think that they have been able to very rightfully claim that moniker as well. Guxue coming out of a signature Winston here is going to be taking a lot of damage from Lip and Stalker in tandem, who can shred through a tank, but this is all about Hangzhou Spark getting some clean dives onto an unprepared or overextended Reign member.
And the Kiriko from Pineapple allows you to have some level of poke, because if you can poke your way through this under Metro side, Guxue can get past that low ceiling and jump onto a target that someone like Shy can hack. This is one of the signature comps from the Hangzhou Spark. You see Shy getting into position, maybe targeting Chio. Unsuccessful there with the hack, but Fielder maybe caught without cooldowns. Shield bash from Chio protects his fellow support well. Hangzhou Spark make their way forward. Leave catches Donghack. It's a one-man advantage for the Spark as they head over towards the point.
It's Monk who makes it work again and again with these CCs over onto Donghack. It's a real problem when you can get easily slept by the Ana. A nice anti there keeps Stalker at bay, and once again we're going to be looking at a team forced to try and recontest, but with Stalker on an off angle, should be a touch easier here for the Atlanta Reign.
Can Spark cap just as quickly? There is a recontest. Atlanta Reign had Donghack jumping in, but Guxue had the rest of his team locked up. So Donghack is barely living through this, just now getting healing from his team. And Guxue and friends felt the need to invest some ultimates. The nano from Monk goes to Guxue, and well, Stalker's a believer. He dupes another Winston. Atlanta Reign want to draw out as much time as possible, and Atlanta Reign are turning this around.
Double trouble with 2 Wintons. That's too many more than Hangzhou Spark can deal with, and that's a huge swap here from Donghack. We talked about how often we were seeing Monk get these sleeps onto a blocking Donghack. Now instead, much easier to put down that bubble and effectively dance around it to mitigate the chance of CC coming your way. Hangzhou Spark now, though, have an EMP. This is the most important cooldown that you need to be on the lookout for.
Oh, Stalker. Okay, Shy got booped a bit, but the job is done. Stalker's removed. Flip tries to fight back with the tactical visor. You got the nano onto Donghack. Hunting, looking for more kills. And the Primal too? Sure, why not? Spark, by the way, we're at like 98% and almost delivering that to a friend. Donghack lives through it. Leave's math is a little off, but Spark invests in Kitsune Rush, and now Leave has been unleashed. The Atlanta Reign gotta respect this. They're holding their corner, and the Spark gotta help Guxue. He's on the healthiest position. Leave by his side. Atlanta Reign still contesting. You gotta deal with Stalker. Where's the focus from Spark?
Oh, Monk was kept elsewhere by Donghack, executes a solo dive onto the Ana, and while he may have misplaced his shield, what he did do is make sure that Monk wasn't able to deliver any healing. It would have been such a good position for the Ana to free cast from, but Donghack is aware of it and brings the power of the Winston to the table. It's such a good swap here from the Atlanta Reign onto this incredibly comfortable composition for them. Hangzhou Spark are running out of time.
Less than a minute before Atlanta Reign go to match point. And this is Hangzhou Spark's choice of map. They've been so close. And when it gets chaotic, when there's so much stress, the Spark sometimes can fall apart. There's a hack on the Stalker, but Shy couldn't follow up, and neither can the rest of the Spark. But Guxue goes for a dive, and he is flailed away by Chio. That's a 2-man anti there from Monk, but Spark are just so low on health, and Guxue has to lead that charge. He commands the attention of the Atlanta Reign, and has removed at least 3. No healing for the Atlanta Reign, and the Spark will finally cap.
Oh, what an anti from Monk. Does give his life for it, and now Lip can potentially be staggered here as well. Down comes a beautiful rocket. That's going to keep Leave at bay. This should allow Lip plenty of time to set up on the high ground, and this is crucial for Atlanta Reign. Not having to fight for this position, and instead forcing Hangzhou Spark to dive up onto it while taking the poke from the soldier is going to be a major boon for them. And they've almost got a nano visor available if they want to use it, but it feels better to split up their options, and instead Nano the Winston have the visor as a dueling option.
Donghack manages to get out of the double blink! And the gift, not enough to kill Donghack, but a good idea from Leave. Plan B, Shy, EMP. The Atlanta Reign have been so good at disengaging the dance, the tango of giving space and taking it right back by force. The Atlanta Reign now suffer through this EMP. Lip is hacked, Chio is gone. Fielder fights back, Lip receives the nano, but through this bubble of Guxue, and now a Primal in his face. Leave the man alone. The Atlanta Reign toss and turn and find themselves 6 feet on the ground.
A nano onto an MVP candidate, but Guxue sees no god up here except for God of Anger. Primal Rage drives him and the Hangzhou Spark forward, but Atlanta Reign didn't invest everything in that fight. They still have the Primal, they still have the Pulse Bomb, and the question is here, how can Hangzhou Spark try and position themselves to avoid that incoming Pulse Bomb? Can they force out the Suzu in advance from Pineapple, or Pineapple be caught too far away?
Stalker's about to one-clip the guy. Relax. Okay, it is playoffs, don't relax, I'm entertained, but Atlanta Reign have the bridge, but Pineapple drops the Kitsune Rush, and I don't see it. I need to clean my glasses though, but with only one support there from the Spark, this momentum that they really needed to make up with the gap in the time bank is gonna set them so far back.
Oh yeah, now they've got to not only get to the car, but they're also going to have to try and assault high ground again as well. Is this a compositional swap from a Hangzhou Spark? No, they're just having a look back. Speaking of compositional swaps, Lip has moved over onto the Sombra. This is going to allow for even more backline pressure onto Monk, who Atlanta Reign have identified as a problem and continuously need to try and force to make a bad choice with the Nano by using it just when they need to live.
Cleave is also marking Stalker very well, who's just been hiding, looking for a pulse bomb. And Shy is looking for hacks too. It's which backline is gonna get hit the most. And Shy could translocate out. It might have been taken out. Either way, 8 seconds, and Spark don't have Shy. And just more pain. The Atlanta Reign jumping on the Spark before they could jump on top of the bridge and get anything going on this cart. Not capping B, not pushing that momentum. Strikes through the heart of the Spark as the Atlanta Reign go to match point.
Somebody get me a replay operator. Somebody get me a replay operator. Because I'm pretty sure in that final fight, Donghak just smacked the Tracer into a pulse bomb that was stuck to the Brigitte with the Primal Rage, which would have been an absolutely brilliant play from the Winston. Hangzhou Spark on their own map pick here may have been able to cobble together a defense, but when it came to trying to break the ironclad walls of the Atlanta Reign, the castle that was built on the site of the mid-season madness continues to stand strong against those coming from the east.
I'm getting a feeling of deja vu.
Oh no.
Oh no. It was a 3-0 last time. The desk thought it, but this is a new meta where the Atlanta Reign have proven to be one of the most flexible teams in the world, and the Hangzhou Spark, though, have been known to just play anything as well to dominate APAC, but the West is a different beast. And Spark, I mean, already were at a deficit when it came to time banks, when it took almost, what, the last minute to cap the point? And Pineapple just suffering really critical deaths and the moments that they needed to keep pushing, to keep the momentum.
The timing from Atlanta Reign is simply second to none when it comes to going on to these supports. You saw the Donghak, especially on first point, was doing a fantastic job of just hanging out on the high ground, waiting for Monk to use one of those offensive names to try and facilitate a play, and then dropping down on top of a defenseless Ana, using that shield to block any sleep, and easily finding themselves a 1 versus 1, or dragging Pineapple back away from the fight, which meant that Leave generally found himself in an unfair fight against Stalker because of the armor packs coming from Chio.
Atlanta Reign just have so many different interesting play styles of being either a reactive team. They'll nanoblade. They're not afraid to nanoblade in the middle of a fight when things are looking dicey, but they also take great initiative behind Donghak. Here is Spark's potential final choice of map of Suravasa.
Flashpoint, it's anybody's game. We've seen many a series where Flashpoint can just go any which way. Speed is the name of the game on these, and we know that Chio is incredibly comfortable on the Lucio, possibly his best hero, but the Brigitte has been making a good side of it this year. The Reign fans are feeling good with this 2-0 in their pocket. Hangzhou Spark to try and bring this back. It has to be a reverse sweep against potentially the best team in the league.
Spark, you know they weren't the favorites in this match, but you can't deny the Spark buff that happens in playoffs. What Shy can do to solo carry his team is insane. Shy and Leave need to pull up, but you're going up against Lip and Stalker, who are collecting awards like badges. So it's going to be the most difficult match that the Spark are going to have, and it won't be the end of the road no matter what happens. But we have to find out what these teams are going to be talking about. They're going to have a few minutes to discuss how they're going to approach this final map. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the break. It's match point for the Atlanta Reign. Getting together here in Canada to have maybe a flawless first series. Speaking of flawless leg day, look at this guy.
Oh my goodness, 83% post-bomb attach rate. Is that even a real number? That is absolutely crazy. Stalker, imagine having to be the DPS partner of Lip and then also being the one whose name we have to scream so often during these matches. What a year it has been. The Stalker's tale has been so amazing. Lynx is back in, Pineapple out for now. No more double flex support for the side of Hangzhou Spark. Instead, Speed's likely the name of the game here. We're likely going to be seeing Lynx and Shio move over onto Lucios. We know just how important rapidity of action can be on flashpoints like Suravasa. We just want to get as many fights in as possible.
For anyone who is coming to Toronto, maybe not, you've been under a rock. You don't know what Flashpoint is. It's like Control, but there's more of it. There's just a lot of controls on one map. First to 3 rounds, and this could be the end. But not the end of, well, the entire event for the Spark. If they lose, they go to the elimination match to face another team who goes 0-1. And, well, the Atlanta Reign have beat them on every map pick so far. The Spark knew they had to counter, not mirror. And I'm hoping that we see some more Orisa. I think that's how Spark have been able to hold their own more and also just lock down Donghack and not let him have too much freedom.
Yeah, Donghack cannot be allowed to roam free. The Esports Awards recognized him as a potential breakout player of the year, and how correct they are. Huge scout from the back room of the Atlanta Reign to realize the potential of this player and place him into an environment where he can thrive. I wouldn't mind seeing Guxue bring out this Doomfist. We haven't seen it yet from Guxue today, but we've seen it plenty previously, especially against the Dallas Fuel. Against tightly packed formations, the Doomfist can elicit a huge amount of value, but if Atlanta Reign play this widespread classic composition we saw all the way through the year, the Doomfist might have a little bit more problem.
The doors are open for a potential final map. Atlanta Reign with the dive, the composition they've been stomping the league with, but Guxue's on his signature Doomfist, and you better watch out, at least if you're a fielder in Shio. Here's the first point. Donghack just setting himself up. Looks like Spark want to go either behind or above and doing some initial scouting, but look how quick Atlanta Reign are to pull the trigger, a hack, and already farming up.
Just trying to destabilize the Hangzhou Spark so they can't make a fully resourced dive onto a player like Fielder, who has gone low, and that means you've got to try and relieve that pressure. Guxue inside the bubble here. It's going to be no healing comes through. What a play from Donghack to cut that off from the Ana.
It's important for Tracers to chase down these Doomfists. And that's exactly what Stalker did. And you need that same kind of pressure. Either Leave has to keep Stalker in check, or Leave needs to trade with Donghack. And with him slept and almost an antied. He manages to jump out, and Spark couldn't follow up immediately. Leave wants to go in with his team, especially beside Guxue. 40% already for the Atlanta Reign. Shy charged up. His Sojourn was one of the best in the world. But it sparked that work as a unit, as a team, to now flip this point.
All those assists, everybody wanted Donghack dead, and they certainly found their man. A fairly early flip here for the Hangzhou Spark. Now we can play defensively, and with Lip down, it might be difficult for Atlanta Reign to try and extract themselves here. Fielder's coming up onto a Nano, which is going to give Donghack a lot more survivability, but we've also seen them go over onto players like Tracers in the past, when the Anas are feeling a little bit frisky, and if you've got Stalker with a Pulse Bomb, trying to go in even deeper with that damage reduction to hit a nasty stick might well be worth it.
And that's why you play Sojourn, so you can just jump out of dangerous situations. Here's one for you though. Donghack is nanoed, and now that his bubble is gone, he doesn't want to be too overeager. He doesn't want to cost his team any more time than they already are losing. Atlanta Reign are more depending on some ultimates, and dash into Stalker! He's right next to you. Oh, he's gonna be bad.
All's fair in love and war. Leave did actually catch an accidental pulse bomb from Stalker in the last fight, so why not have one shield bashed into you? Unfortunately, Chio did not look good both ways before they crossed the street, and now it's going to be difficult for Atlanta Reign to even touch here, but Stalker is in position to make sure that it's contested. If he wants to risk the triple blink, will be a little bit less of a factor in the fight afterwards, and Lip still has an EMP.
Yeah, and with this kind of center wall, you might lose some LOS on this EMP, but the Atlanta Reign will always believe. Here's the rally, EMP, but Lip gets slept! And he managed manages to translocate out, and that's all thanks to the Donghack Primal that just summoned so much attention so that his fellow teammate could get out. With the rally, the late one from Chio, this could be an advantage for the Atlanta Reign, but it's overtime in favor of the Spark, and Shy is let loose. And the Reign invested so much to get nothing.
A stagger onto Donghack as well is going to mean that Hangzhou Spark basically guarantee their early position on this point as well. Here's a quick look at Leave. It's likely going to be a quick double with the pulse bomb here, delivering this one over to a good buddy. You got a diffuser for this, my guy. Next up is going to be Palace. It's going to be great for Shy if he can control the high ground. But the thing is, how do you stop Donghack from assaulting this? Getting Guxue in a position to maybe do some body blocking and put down that bubble behind Donghack after the dive is going to be imperative.
Guxue places the bubble right at the entrance, and Donghack doesn't want to be separated from the flock and leaves so close to getting that first blood there on Donghack. We have nanos available, but Primal from Guxue, he knows that the first cap, the first fight's so important. Locks up Donghack in a corner. It looks for more. What a sleep from Fielder. Do you just delay the inevitable, though? Spark, more focused on the objective, especially without Monk. You have limited heals. You don't want to take too much damage. And with the nano onto Chio, Reign didn't want to give this up, even with Donghack missing. And Spark are just trying to die on the point to extend what little they have.
Monk can't get back in time here to use the nano, so it's just going to be playing for percentage and nothing more than that. Shy taking out Fielder is a little bit nasty, but Hangzhou Spark are likely going to be too staggered to really take advantage of this one. Still, Atlanta Reign, they invested most of what they had into that fight with the nano. It does mean that Chio is going to be a little bit harder to assault with Rally versus Rally. Still, if you can manage to take away that shield and then manage to hit an anti-nade, a Winston dive will tear through that Brigitte.
Fielder is still getting back to the fight, so Spark can take some initiative here and he'll be off with this nano. It's not bad to also give it to a Brigitte if you're worried about the Winston. The sleep there misses. We're close to EMP. Spark need to get ahead of this fight, and Lexa runs into Chio, who gets nano, or gets antied, and both Atlanta Reign supports dead in the water. And this Primal Rage is just only going to allow Donghack to escape as the Spark, well, they're back in the driver's seat.
Back in the driver's seat indeed, and now Atlanta Reign is on a timer, but they're on a timer that has an explosive countdown at the end of it. An EMP ready in the hands of Liv. This could absolutely tear through the Hangzhou Spark, especially with no reactive ultimates to really try and deal with it in the form of either the Rally or the Nano. Instead, Shy is going to try and make offense the best form of defense here and poke out Atlanta Reign as they try and approach. Oh, that's a fantastic scout there from Liv. That's going to put Lip on an even sharper timer. And with this high ground here for Hangzhou Spark, it's going to be difficult for Lip to get up there in good time. Might have to solo EMP the Winston.
Guxue actually does manage to jump the safety. Good bubble to protect himself, and that was the main target. Atlanta Reign not looking so healthy either. Stalker pulse bomb, trades Lexa. Chio gone too. Leave, good job on the other side, but the point is capped. Sparker on round point.
And once again, more and more staggers. That means Atlanta Reign are again going to be scrambling for the position. This is such a lucky spawn for the Hangzhou Spark. This is a fantastic spawn for them on their side of the map. Atlanta Reign are going to be able to have Lip get there first with that almost unlimited sprint from the stealth, and Fielder is going to have to invest for Nano here to try and win this first fight. As we saw before, first fight win is incredibly important. You need to try and keep Monk and Lexa at bay.
Composure from the Spark when they're looking down the barrel of match point to pull through to be on round point now of Suravasa. Begins with Reign, Donghack, nanoed all up in Lexa's grill, who manages to get well protected there by Guxue. Shy doesn't go down either when he was at critical health. It's the fight here for Ruins. Stalker blinks back, and you got dive after dive, but Guxue is primaled, and Donghack is slept. Which dive is going to get more value? Guxue tossing Lip around, going back to help Leave, and assist in the fight forward. The Atlanta Reign have capped the point, and the Spark have left.
Cost them 2 ultimates, but on the other side, the Prime was used by Guxue, so you're happy with this if you're the Atlanta Reign, and now, once again, you can try and control the tempo a little bit more viciously. An early anti onto Guxue will just keep him at bay for a moment. There's no real danger to be asserted here. What I'm looking at here is Monk's Nano and how it's going to be used. Can Guxue execute a clean dive with the Nano going up against Chio? You're often going to be getting whip shot. So instead, it might be better to just try and force out Donghack, who's actually isolated himself from healing.
And Fielder is dead too, maybe trying to get into a position where he could heal Donghack. Now I was worried about how the Spark were going to get through that choke point. Turns out the poke is just superior. but that's 75+% to the Atlanta here on this point, so Spark got a lot of hustling to do.
Yeah, Donghak unfortunately just went out a little bit too far. The first jump did not put him into the LOS of Fielder, so no healing could be delivered after that, and it was an easy chase to come through for Leave. And it means that very little more than just a pulse bomb had to be delivered by the Hangzhou Spark. And now Lip's got an EMP ready to go. This is a much easier point in which to hit the EMP. That's why you see Guxue playing a little bit earlier here to make sure these supports can't join the EMP fight.
EMP, Shy in trouble, gets nanoed by Monk to save his life. Not all heroes wear capes, I guess Ana technically does, but Shy. It's also the overclock. But Spark are patient! And so is Shy! Had shot out the Stalker! And Atlanta Reign losing a lot of members, and they're quick to turn around a fight, so Spark gotta be careful.
The love tap coming through. One fight is all Hangzhou Spark need to pick up their first map here at Playoffs and take Atlanta's first off of them. But once again, the legendary support duo has all of the tools in the box to try and make this one work. It's already onto Donghak.
And it's last fight, 90+% round point for the Spark. And there's the lengths to rally as they group up to hunt down Donghak, who gets the same support from Chio. Shy went in too deep, didn't know what was waiting for him around the corner. In Atlanta Reign, they might have been cornered, but an animal bites back when they do. And Atlanta Reign take back the point.
It's going to be difficult here for Hangzhou Spark to even touch this point. That's why we see so many members of Atlanta Reign moving forward. They want to make sure skirmishes get in the way of touching, and Hangzhou Spark are just going to have to give this one up, and now they have to bet. Are we going to the Gardens, or are we going to be going to the Temple? From the position of it at the moment, looks like it's going to be Temple. Lip just about escaping with his life, and there's going to be covering fire here from Donghak. It is indeed going to be the Temple. Good spawn here for Atlanta Reign. It's going to allow for Fielders to get into a fairly safe position early, and that can equally be taxed by Donghak, who can play on this corner and make sure that Monk can't go too far forward to support a Guxue dive.
Now that Atlanta Reign are here first, they can also take angles around, looking for EMP, looking for Pulse. They got to build up to that point too. The Hangzhou Spark have their tools ready to go. They flail away the dive of Donghak, and Anti hits Donghak, who has the primal, has to use it to survive the Pulse Bomb. At least he felt he needed to. Donghak escaping from danger. Guxue trying to apply that same pressure. Atlanta Reign get away with capping the point and unleashing an EMP that only hits Leave. And Shy gets nano to preserve his life yet again. Monk has one favorite child, and I'll give you one guess who it is. And when Shy delivers the damage he does, I agree.
There's a flip coming through for Hangzhou Spark, rather rapid in this case as well. Quick shout out to Lengza. Use some excellent shield tag to place Stalker's Pulse Bomb into the wall where it wouldn't be able to harm any of his friends. Guxue, Anti can't afford to get picked here, but is going to. What a chase down from Leave. And now holding space for the Hangzhou Spark is going to be very difficult.
Lip is not afraid to take risks, and it's always been rewarding for the Atlanta Reign. They have Donghak nanoed just to kind of scare the Spark back. Monk is getting harassed by a Sombra, and Spark are just having their attention split, and there's a sleep that hits Shy. Donghak jumps up top, and Guxue places a bubble to protect them. The Atlanta Reign will be taking the lead here in a second, depending how this fight goes. The rally from Lexa is just immediately removed, so no value, no sustain from the Spark. The Atlanta Reign will let them go.
It's Stalker again. It's always Stalker. The thorn in the side of not only the Hangzhou Spark, but all of the Western Conference as well. Leave, can he get the same magic? The same curse put upon Atlanta Reign with a pulse on would be fantastic. Chio can try and survive it using the rally, maybe. But again, you've got Fielders actually a little bit forward here. Might well be ambushable, but you can see that there's plenty of layers of defense to keep him safe.
Last fight to maybe go to round 5, and Stalker, first blood onto Shy when he had the overclock. Monk in trouble, trying to push past the bubble of Donghak to heal Guxue. So much survivability. Monk at Langston dodging bullets. 99% in overtime for the Atlanta Reign, about to cap, not even probably needing to use the EMP, but Lip will do so anyway. And Monk is getting tossed into the line of fire. What a sleep, but it's too little and it's too late. With the first 2 rounds going to the Spark, the Atlanta Reign will force the final one.
We're going to Gardens, and Atlanta Reign are sprinting their way across. They're going to open up here with a nano boost, which means that Monk is in danger. Monk thought that maybe that was a fight that was clutchable, and so in his final moments threw it out onto Guxue, who, while he had the nano, decided not to prime or recognize that that fight was done without Monk being able to find his life. Shy with an overclock, though. If there's any player on the Hangzhou Spark who can try and hit themselves a fat deadlift with some nasty shots, you know that it's Shy. This guy is legendary on the Sojourn.
These hallways can protect Shy as much as possible. He knows this. He's overclocked. Donghack slept. Well, he'll be out of the picture for now when he's so low too. Atlanta Reign just put themselves in the security of a building as the Spark want to enter and evict them by force. And that's what Guxue is doing. He slept and not woke quite yet. Spark did manage to cap too, so they're benefiting with how long this is taking.
A little bit of a back cap going on as well. Lip trying to drag back these players into more vulnerable positions where Donghack can try and get a better cleave or a more safe dive. Still Stalker needs to be accounted for as he comes back in. What a hack! Oh, that means Lee's not going to be present, and neither Shy!
The pulse bomb stick rate continues for Stalker. What a god! 45%. The Spark can never get a clean fight. You can never be safe when Atlanta Reign are around the corner. And that'll be a team wipe in favor of the Atlanta Reign. 60% for the Spark.
Stalker currently on 11 final blows out of 31 or so for his team. That is still crazy. And an EMP in the hands of Lip. How do Hangzhou Spark weather this? They've got two support elements to try and do it. Monk has always been quick on the trigger to keep Shy alive, and Lengsa can sustain himself utilizing that rally, so it's definitely going to be Shy who is usually going to be getting a huge amount of those resources to weather the Lip storm.
Lip wants to be as unpredictable as possible, and maybe if he can catch Shy without his jump, then the rally immediately activated by Lengsa to give the extra overhealth to Shy in case this EMP were to come. And here it is. Hits at least two. Monk and Ano's Guxue. Lengsa stomped like a bug. And the Atlanta Reign are so unhealthy, but Spark can't finish off the kills. And Donghack has slept, and he can't even believe it. And this primal now isn't much because everybody around Donghack is dead, and so is Shio there in a second. Spark still have the point somehow, but you can tell Reign are going for the flip.
Oh, Shio manages to get away. That's going to allow for a faster reset here, and that might be everything that Atlanta Reign needs. Stalker's got another pulse in the pocket, and this has usually been a guaranteed kill. His approach needs to be telegraphed here by the Hangzhou Spark. He needs to be marked by Leave. If he can hit another pulse bomb, this could be over.
Could be over for the Spark too, man. It's 99%. Someone has to touch. The pulse bomb hits the shield. I thought we were going to have a repeat of last time. And Leave has already recalled out. Shy pushed away. Spark have the point. And Shy, he's overclocked. He's ready to go. And Donghack misses the punch. Good dodge there by Shy. Stalker couldn't dodge the L from Leave. And Spark have done more than enough to survive and thrive as they take Suravasa.
No 3-0 to begin with. Flashpoint is where the Hangzhou Spark strike back and make sure that Atlanta Reign's dominance is not perfection to begin our run here in Toronto. And that means that our series does go on and on, Lemon. Next up is going to be Push. We know that this also thrives on these faster compositions. It feels like Atlanta Reign are happy to continually revert back to this composition that's been their bread and butter all year long.
Leave has 3,000 more damage than Stalker. Ooh. Talk about clutching up against one of the best tracers in the world. We were highlighting his stats, but all you had to do is believe. The Hangzhou Spark will not give up without a fight. And this went all the way to round 5, where Atlanta Reign were like about to reverse sweep them.
And one of his critical things about Lee's 3,000 higher damage as well was that it's often going over onto Donghack. He's doing a lot to try and force out these early escapes from Donghack, or even just early attention from Fielder onto that tank in order to make sure that maybe Shy can get a preferential duel or set up someone below 130 or so health to get finished off by that railgun. It's a lot more of an assistive role from Leave rather than being the main damage dealer like Stalker is with Sombra Tracer setup. We can see
this is such a good nano.
This is just the presence of mind that Monk has been able to develop over the course of his last few years playing Overwatch is crazy. This guy reads the game so well.
At least I thought it was the nano that made him survive the pulse, but all that attention has gone to Shy. And him and Leave are pulling up on the Atlanta Reign. They know how much work they have to do against Lip and Stalker, who are just legendary in the Overwatch League. Now it's Atlanta Reign who have to pick.
Likely going to be seeing maybe an Esperanza. I mean, if we go to Coliseum, there might be some entirely different compositions. New Quinn Street, we've seen a couple of balls, but we're likely not going to be seeing Wrecking Ball play. At the moment, it feels like it's anybody's meta, but both of these teams, like, they're so comfortable just sort of like getting into their groove of just playing some dive. That's where Guxue and Donghack are at their most effective, and of course, Stalker and Leave. You won't be able to stop them from trying to take those Tracer 1v1s, even when she's not the most meta. Esperanza is going to be the pick from Reign. This is fairly standard, I'd say. You can play all manner of different things here, but there's going to be plenty of Winston.
Yeah, the dive has been the recipe du jour, and man, this has been quite a battle between East and West to kick off our playoffs, and we're going to kick you guys to a quick break to see what our final map has in store. It's match point for the Atlanta Reign, but Hangzhou Spark still got that spark and that fight in them. And I agree, fellow Xer, Twitterer person. This is a banger to start off our playoffs.
Oh yeah, we couldn't ask for anything better to start off our international events. East meeting West, and hey, West ain't stomping just yet, boys and girls. There is life in the East. They have managed to claim the map, and they might well claim some more as well, because, well, it is a big pop-off from so many members, but more so than others perhaps we got to have a look at Guxue. This guy's been popping up on the tank and also has been really widening his hero pool this year. But when it comes to the classics, you love to go back to the Winston. 11 final blows and a huge amount of damage, getting so much cleave. This guy has been working so well in tandem with Monk to make sure they're always delivering the combination of Winston jump damage and the Bardic Grenade at the exact right time.
I love Guxue's picture. I mean, the desk already pointed out that Spark took some few headshots. You got some Spark fans in the crowd. I can't tell if he's making an L motion or if I'm about to lose rock, paper, scissors. Or maybe I'm about to
get a judo chop.
That too, I'm going to get chopped up. But Guxue has been such a good enabler to just protecting his supports, placing a bubble, to jumping in there with Leave. Leave looks that good because Guxue is there. His team still has energy and positivity because Guxue is there. And this was so close on Suravasa all the way to the final round. So I'm sure Spark are happy they're still playing, but not cozy, you know?
Far from cozy. I don't think anyone's cozy going up against the Atlanta Reign, but you're exactly right that when it comes to the bubble placement, that's one of the most interesting things to look at in high-level Overwatch, especially between the two Winstons. It's often a mind game as to who wants to be able to pressure the other supports, but who's going to try and take that second dive and cut off the supports from that dive using their own bubble to make sure that Fielder can't deliver those heals to Donghack. That's something we saw Guxue do consistently.
Esperanza is one of these push maps that you can literally play anything on. We've seen every tank under the sun. And a lot of it also in this series, just Orissa's, Doomfist, Winston's. These are all things that can help. Now, if we continue with the dive, this is great to get bridge control. We see that a lot of the win condition, a lot of the hope behind the Atlanta Reign is generating ultimates. They don't like to commit too deep unless they can depend on Lip to, well, open things up.
Generally going in with a pretty solid plan and a good order of operations as well, knowing exactly what resources and cooldowns need to be forced out before they can try and make their killing blow, knowing exactly what may stymie them, as of course, when it comes to playing around these compositions, Atlanta Reign are second to none. As we head over to Esperanza, we will see shortly what tanks are going to be picked. It would be very surprising to me if Donghack decided, in this case, to bring out the Orisa in comparison to Guxue, but Hangzhou Spark feel like they may have found their groove here with Shy on the Sojourn, and why not? He is a legend on this hero last year, second to none, some would say, when it came to the Sojourner. She was such an important pick.
And I know, seeding aside, Spark have been APAC's strongest hope when it comes to the East. And Shy has gone from the Ashe to the Sojourn, trying to flex and adapt to the competition. And that's a lot to ask for a team to constantly swap and just play at their peak when the Atlanta Reign haven't really been forced off of this signature composition of the Winston double flanker.
One of the interesting duels that we have here actually is that Lip's going to be able to gather information for free on the location of Hangzhou Spark compared to Shy, and that means that Fielder should have a much easier time hitting those tricksy anti-nades compared to Monk, who's got a little bit more guesswork involved in those positions.
Now it's up to the Tracers to get this objective going, so Stalker pushes it forward, because as soon as one team steps up, your backline is now exposed if it's out of LOS of the bridge, if they even stay on the bridge, and that's when the opposite dive team can find some purchase. Atlanta Reign, two-man anti there from Monk and Leave, hunts down Donghack. A great reaction from the Spark. Really a great start to get this bot pushing.
And that's a great read from Spark, and that you talked about how much Atlanta Reign like to prep their dives and get rid of those cooldowns early. Shy actually baited in that dive by using his slide and his jump to become a big beacon of a target for Atlanta Reign. Then when Donghack and Stalker move forward to try and punish that, it's an easy two-man anti where Guxue can slide in after him, block off any support using that bubble, and it's an easy kill onto Donghack. Now the barricade do be moving as Leaves almost already got himself a pulse bomb, and Lip's down.
Lip's been discovered, so Atlanta Reign taking back-to-back L's, but Hangzhou Spark, it's not the objective that they're worried about, it's that bridge control, and how can they access Fielder and Chio, who have to back away to that corner. Stalker blinks back towards his team as the Spark hope to sail away, and Shy couldn't jump out fast enough. He gets so eager to finish off these kills when he knows the Atlanta Reign are low, and that has cost them before. Now the Atlanta Reign hopes to turn things around, and it's Donghack leading the charge. Stalker, no kill stealing with the pulse bomb. Atlanta Reign have done more than enough to get the spot pushing in their favor, all thanks to Stalker.
The Hangzhou Spark, after they lost Shy early, didn't invest anything in that fight. They got out both the Nano and the Pulse Swarm, and whenever the Pulse Swarm's not a throwaway ultimate when it comes to Stalker because he's so damn efficient with them. Lee's been holding on to his maybe a little while longer than I'd be comfortable with. But Hangzhou's retake here should not be too hard because they've got plenty of ultimates to try and rebuff Lip's EMP, including, of course, the usual babysitting Nano onto Shy most likely when Lip pops that EMP.
These Spark supports are playing as safe as they can. They know what's coming. You don't need a crystal ball for this one. You can see that Guxue trying to present himself, see if he can attract that single EMP. But Lip goes to the back, and there is Donghak to apply the pain. And Spark have already lost Langsa, and Spark, they can assess C. Do they think this 4v5 is turnable? They have the Nano, they have the PS ultimates, but with this bubble of Donghak in their face, Shy feels the need to blink past it! And it works out! That giant shield of the rally, though, is blocking a lot of his vision, so there's Guxue lining up the pins for the Spark! In Atlanta Reign, they fight back and forth. It's 3 versus 4 in favor of the Spark. We're so good at disengaging. We highlighted Guxue before, and this is the leader who makes it done.
It's Monk's read on the game again and again, realizing when they are at their best to try and take this back. Shy being able to get up onto the high ground using that boost on the jump. Unbelievable value to make sure Atlanta Reign had nowhere to hide, and when they got into those tight spaces, they could easily be cleaved by Guxue. Atlanta Reign are going to be in position here to stop this cap from coming through and deny that forward spawn, but Donghak's already been mega pressured.
He's primal, he's antied, probably got slept too. Atlanta Reign just trying to put fear into their eyes, and Spark is the bubble that Atlanta Reign could not cross. Stalker found out the hard way, didn't look left and right, but if you look forward, you see the bulldozer of the Spark. Kill after kill. Leave just synchronizing with Guxue perfectly today.
To me, to you, that's one way to beat down a Brigitte. Hangzhou Spark, yet another pulse on to play with, but right now, all the distance they're getting is gravy, and they've got the forward spawns as well, so if Monk gets picked out, it's not as difficult. Nothing from a pulse bomb.
Nothing for now. Lip will return with a vengeance, though, with an EMP. This 5v5, Leaf has slept, so Lip goes for the EMP, and Spark wanted to help him out, and Spark
What Nancy?
lose 2 immediately, and Spark, this is, I mean, just up to Guxue. Yes, he got Nano, but turning that fight around is some cope. But 80 meters, not too shabby for the Spark.
Not at all, and with half the time gone as well, Atlanta Reign are going to be taxed with every single movement they try to make on this objective. Forward spawn should be available for everyone, yes, and Monk getting it here is absolutely crucial, because if he got the back spawn, it would have been ages before he got back into the fight. Lip, of course, going to take some early poke here just to try and build up towards that EMP as quickly as possible. But Chio's rally is really what's going to determine the brawl of this fight, being able to keep everyone alive and block off a huge amount of damage from Shy.
Hey, Guxue tries to protect his team. Pulse at the back. Stalker does it again. His attach rate is insane, and it's consistent too. And they finally lock down Leaf, and that'll be Atlanta Reign catching up in the score.
And getting that stick onto Shy as well means no overclock, means no need to actually pop the rally, so Chio's kept this in reserve still. Donghak's got yet another primal, by the way. He's doing unfathomable amounts of damage and keeping Hangzhou Spark bullied in main.
Oh, the juggle just a little bit off, which would have been enough to push Monk and Lynx into the line of fire of the Reign. But Guxue has the same idea, and Leave gets the final blow on the Donghak, and Chio tries to rally the team, and Shy closes the door on the Atlanta Reign, stopping that momentum push.
Sometimes it's a game of millimeters, and that right there was a couple of millimeters that separated Chio from being able to get a stun onto Lengsa. And being able to get that stun might well have allowed Reign to try and coalesce on the target. Another EMP is up for Lip. How could it be countered? Answer, as usual, going to be that Nano in the hands of Monk. 3% away, likely just keep Shy alive in these instances, but when that happens, Lip tends to just go for solo EMP on Guxue if he overextends.
Hey, Guxue jumps as he's getting hacked, and he escapes into the window, and Lee does enough damage to force the translocate out of Lip. Lengsa is slept, Shy bagging him, of course.
Oh, what a slap.
And then you got Donghak jumping up Nano, slept. Beautiful shot by Monk. And Donghak's not even done yet. He gets healed back up when Spark thought they were safe and they thought they could get the kill. Shy down for the count as the Atlanta Reign. They can get so close to tying the score if they win this fight and the next. And the more staggers the Atlanta Reign gets, the more likely that is.
Hangzhou Spark are trying to force Lip to use his EMP here, but Lip is iron-fisted on this. Is that field mature behind? Oh, the support's dead!
Don't leave your supports unattended!
Oh, they had to move the
man.
car. He had to move the car, but all he did, he just had to look at his team being slaughtered. Hangzhou Spark just stick in there and find an excellent dive. That must have been a bloody good nade from Monk.
That gives Hangzhou Spark the driver's seat yet again to keep that 80-meter mark, and they don't even look like they want to fight past this choke point. They're being very careful to do so. They know this Lip EMP is coming. It hits Flank, so the rally doesn't come out in time, and Guxue too late to the rescue. Shy seems to live on, so a 4v5 is definitely possible for the Spark, but it's all up to Monk to keep them healed up, and Shy jumps back to respect that Dong hack jump. The Atlanta Reign taking their time.
Guxue peeling back there to make sure he wasn't isolated by the bubble. Excellent presence of mind. Remember, Lengsa got the forward spawn as well, so it means that he's going to be back in the fight in good order here. And Guxue's got his own Primo now in tandem with Donghack.
Back to a 5v5, Chio. It's Antide! Gets slapped around by Guxue, but trades back and forth. You got Brigida heals versus Ana heals. Atlanta Reign maybe having a bit more support. Never mind. They're all dead. Leave is in your back line, and you gotta watch your back when he's there! And Stalker may just slow down the Spark with that pulse, but a Spark looking to extend that 80 meters.
Can you smell what the Spark are cooking? Because it smells to me like a map number 5 between these two. It's only a slight 30-meter advantage here for the Hangzhou Spark, but Atlanta Reign is still yet to cap, and that means they have to deal with a stop at the checkpoint if they're going to make it all the way to 80 meters himself as well. Once again, Leave almost has themselves a pulse bomb. Lip has decided to try and Sojourn versus Sojourn. He's left his signature hero at the door as Hangzhou Spark unlock the forward spawn once again and then decide to play high ground.
The EMP, just for that one kill, isn't enough for Lip. Atlanta Reign have to win multiple fights and in overtime with 30 seconds left. The Donghack with the nano, pressuring Bridge, but he didn't get any help. So he has to fall back down, but Lip shot through the heart of Lengsa to kick off the fight in a good way there for the Atlanta Reign, and Spark are good at disengaging and winning back this neutral fight now that they're on their own bridge.
Oh, Lengsa got the fast spawn as well. It was a matter of milliseconds, but it does mean that Lengsa's going to take too long to return to his fight. Monk might have to just fly elsewhere. With Shy beside them, it could be a pair of ultimates for a nano overclock. This could potentially end it. Atlanta Reign need to stay on Timmy.
Nano for Monk, looking at Shy, attending to him as much as possible. Guxue taking the brunt of the pressure though. Overtime for the Atlanta Reign, and Shy is nanoed! And you can't stand in his way! 2 and 4! The Hangzhou Spark! Down 2 max! Force the game 5!
Stalker's simply forced to watch as the sound of railguns rips through Toronto and rips through the Atlanta Reign. A map 5 banger between East and West. This is what we all wanted when we brought regions together, people together, our Overwatch Esports family together here in Toronto.
The West may be best, but the East are beasts, and you're looking at one of the most fearsome ones, the clutch lords of playoffs, the Hangzhou Spark, hungry to take back the series that they should have just started better in the first place. But to put a dent, however the series ends, to put a dent like this into the Atlanta Reign, the #1 team of the West, APAC deserves more respect.
Your power rankings mean nothing when faced with a nano-boosted Shy. It's a simple calculus. When that railgun's got 50% extra damage, it doesn't matter how beefy you are, how hard a favorite you might be considered. It's time to flee, or time to die. Esperanza, the map pick of the Atlanta Reign. We're gonna have to finish our series out on Escort, and you wonder if they're gonna dare to return to another map that prefers the Winston, allowing Guxue to once again pop off. If you decide to go to Dorado and once again grab that gauntlet, is it going to go your way? Because it feels like Hangzhou Spark have been solving this composition by playing out with the Shy Sojourn and continually out-damaging the tank and keeping Donghack in danger.
I think in this dive versus dive, Atlanta Reign couldn't figure out whether they want to counter dive and trade backlines or just play from front to back to go after Guxue. There was a lot of times I saw Guxue at half health, no armor, very killable, and he just took so much attention. And Atlanta Reign couldn't get a solid push going. They won fights, but not as many as the Hangzhou Spark did. It took one avalanche to set apart these two teams. 80 meters, like a difference of 20 meters, I think, between these two teams to send us into game 5. I mean, even Suravasa was like the final round. This is a banger to start playoffs.
Yeah, there have been no clear-cut maps here. It has been every single inch fought for tooth and nail by both of these teams. And you know who deserves some love on the Hangzhou Spark? Well, you too, but also Monk. Monk has been having himself one heck of a series, and coming into this, like, Monk might not have placed in your top flex supports in this playoff bracket when he's got to be compared to the likes of Fielder and co, but Monk's been having an absolutely lights out series, and what he's been bringing to the fore has made sure that Hangzhou Spark have been allowed to go to a 5th and final map.
Route 66, the showdown. I know it's not America, but it feels, you're sensing the showdown between these two teams. The East and West have had beef for a while, and they don't get to meet too often. This is only the second international event where the Spark could reverse sweep the Atlanta Reign. Then we could just, throw all of our brackets out into the garbage. I know there's some Spark believers, but I know there's that perfect bracket prediction, and I think 95% of people would just be gone.
It would be one heck of a way to start an upset. I wouldn't eat the beef at Earl's Cafe. Probably tastes like charred grilled dirt. But this series is anything but dirt. This series is absolutely golden. I know that I need a little bit of a break, and you guys probably do at home as well, so do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
What a way to start things off here in Toronto. We're going to Game 5. Guys, have you enjoyed this game so far? Wow. You know what, though? I think we could try it a little bit better. Have you been enjoying the game so far? Losing my voice already. It's day one. All right, so here we are. The battle lines have been drawn. 2-2 in the count. You got the Spark. You got the Rain. Let's go ahead and ask the audience who you think's going to win. Who is walking away with the Map 5 win? Say it out loud. My word. I just got destroyed by Spark fans. It's incredible. Well, let's go ahead and send it back over to the casters and see if the Spark can make the reverse sweep happen.
This could be the most legendary match we've ever seen. A reverse sweep by Hangzhou Spark could be possible. The Atlanta Reign, this would be the first loss that they could suffer on LAN at an international LAN after beating the Hangzhou Spark 3 out the Mid-Season Madness, which they had won. This is crazy.
I mean, at Mid-Season Madness, if I remember correctly, Atlanta only drops a single map. So in this series alone, their map losses on LAN have tripled. What a beginning it would be, like you said, a reverse sweep from the east?
From the east?
For real?
For real? Oh, the desk are gonna lose it.
Oh.
They're watching. I see Jake standing up.
I'm staring at them from across the way.
I see you.
Yeah. Your Preds are all boomed, lads. There's no way.
They're too far away to do anything about it. But what we can do is our jobs. Route 66, Game 5. The showdown between East and West, our first match of playoffs. The loser of this, no matter what happens, goes to an elimination match to face the other team that goes 0-1. It's not the end of the road, but it's the beginning of a tough journey.
This is Atlanta's pick. They wish to return to Route 66, and Hangzhou Spark are going to be sticking with what works for both Suravasa and for Esperanza. It was pockmarked by excellent nades from Monk, beautiful dives from Guxue. And of course, Shy's Sojourn has been the hero pick du jour, but Atlanta Reign might have something a little bit special cooked up for Route 66, where it really is anybody's game. Sure, you want the Winston to be able to access big L's and those high grounds, but while I don't think we're going to see Stalker stay on this Widowmaker, we could see some later stage Widowmakers, especially on second. Look for an early pick here, see if anyone overpeaks.
We open things up on Game 5 with the attack of the Atlanta Reign. No Widow. And Lip is going Sojourn.
Yeah, Lip ain't going for Sombra anymore. It's full damage onto both the tanks. Both Guxue and Donghak are in major danger, but this gives a lot more room for Monk to operate. Doesn't have to worry so fervently about the Stalker in the night that is Lip.
There's Lip, all charged up. See, so much Sojourn from Shy that I'm like mixing people up now. Big Girls control for Hangzhou. And they've been so good at countering the dives. They brought out the Sojourn to dodge them. The Sombras, they just position away out of LOS. The Atlanta Reign have their progress stalled, and Chio stomped on by Guxue, who gets out with his life. Blank's also with 1 HP is kind of crazy.
Presence of mind for the drop down, just hiding away until Monk can get that back. Hangzhou Spark collapsing perfectly there, making sure to punish Atlanta Reign. Remember that their dives aren't quite as brutal when they get set up unless Lip wants to fully commit. That's a dangerous proposition for any Sojourn. Instead, Donghak just tries to make sure these sightlines are a little bit safer for Lip to move through.
See the dive from Atlanta Reign, touching the top of Big Girls, and the counter dive from Guxue. Slept while he's in. A great shot by Fielder. Atlanta Reign still has so much progress, stalled, stuck at this choke point without getting really much done. No kills. It's been up to Lip, it's up to Shy to kick things off. Guxue protects his little ducklings after Atlanta Reign starts scaring them with this nano onto Donghak. Leave, making sure that he contests the card when Stalker wants to steal it away. And once the Stalker's gone, Leave reconnects with Guxue. Primal available, Guxue uses it immediately. He was at half health, catches the jump from Lip, wants to push him into the enemy team. And man, Spark are just so disruptive.
Sojourn Fun Deny, making sure that Lip was unable to really set anything up there, as Lynx is going to be popping the rally. And now it's down to Lee to try and make something happen. Wants to get rid of the overclock, but Lip dodges away. Stalker's on the chase, and Guxue's next to fall. This should be a cap here for Atlanta Reign.
All the chaos. Leave is blinking. I can't even keep up. I'm too old for this game sometimes. The way Leave plays, he gets caught in the Atlanta rain, had to invest a lot of time, a lot of resources. They do cap A. Those 90 seconds that are remaining, this sets him back a bit. It's about momentum pushing here.
Hangzhou Spark dying as a group, though, with no staggers does mean that they do have control of the high ground. A nice sleep there is going to make sure that Donghak can put out a little bit of pressure. Out goes a little bit of an ambitious pulse bomb here from Stalker, and Monk can try and strike back very soon with their own nano.
Monk also in a great position to throw nades down. Guxue just blocking the road. Donghak with these soft dives doesn't have Stalker, doesn't have too much damage assistance from Lid. But speaking of damage, look at Shy go. Oh my god! Fielder, he didn't want to open that door. Not against Shy. The Atlanta rain stuck back at this choke, but Lid fires back with not one, but 2 and 3. Atlanta rain will not back down.
Punished by Guxue, yes, but this is going to be enough of an opening here for Atlanta Rain to move out of this choke point. And the choke is simply so difficult to get through. Shy went a little bit too far forward after grabbing Fielder, thinking maybe there's someone else I can try and grab. It was good shield discipline from Chio, just making sure they were consistently able to block those incoming overclock shots. Hangzhou Spark, their opening here has to come from Leaf. He needs to hit himself a nasty pulse bomb, but you can see that Stalker's continually keeping this attended. And now Stalker can strike back.
Leaf almost ate his sleep to give that pulse bomb, and Stalker shows him how it's done. A masterclass on the Tracer. Links are removed. Guxue's still primaling, so Spark are just gonna see what they get, and even Shy can't get into a position to find that trading blow. And Leaf has been caught out. Atlanta Rain have been watching him a lot better. And the Atlanta Rain sail away to point B with plenty of time.
Fielder's POV is just such a joy to watch. An absolute maestro on the Ana, continually able to weave in those hipfire shots onto Stalker. And now, can we see a repeat of the nano overclock onto Lip? It feels like Atlanta Rain are a lot more fans of nanoing Donghak and making sure that these dives are a little bit more deadly, but hey, we haven't seen many opportunities for Fielder and Lip to sync up on these. It may well be enough to try and take a Shy ego duel and make it a little bit less fair.
Lip got antied, so Leave has been taking risks to do really anything to find that first pick, and as Hangzhou disengage, they get hit by a 2-man anti, and Donghak wanted some of that, but then he gets struck down. So Atlanta Rain are left without a tank, but maybe it's up to Lip to be the hero that Atlanta needs again. And it's just Guxue to stall this card, and now he's slept. Lip is starting to just peek over Shy.
No tank, no problem. Lip is all the tank that Atlanta Rain need in this case. And guess what, Stalker, he's a homing missile. He's looking for Lengsa as usual. Leaf can play from the other side. Get a tap on the cart here, yes, but that does mean that he's not going to be able to control Stalker as well as he would like, and it makes it easier to move in onto Lengsa. Good block.
Go back home! They don't have that pulse bomb! Spark's backline in trouble, and someone has to contest! It's up to Leave, and Shy Spark need to stop this cart! This time bank is insane! And so is Shy! Catches Lip and Stalker! Waves goodbye to the Atlanta Rain on this attack that looked flawless!
Atlanta Rain did a good job for LOSing the majority of that nano onto Shy, but eventually they have to pay the piper. And Lip gets hit by the same double rail tap that Lip used to open up the previous fight. And now Atlanta Rain might be in some dire straits, so he's got to try and go down this long corridor. They're going to be catching a huge amount of poke from Shy and Monk as they make their way over here. And it's much harder for Fielder to find a productive biotic grenade because of the arcing that has to happen.
It's these soldiers, man! Shy and Lip are going crazy. Now Shy is starting to find his groove. Back-to-back fights, won by him, and Leave. Not connecting as well as Stalker when it comes to pulse bombs, but man, he's scaring the heck out of Atlanta.
The fear is real for Atlanta Rain, but still with a minute and a half left.
Again!
He's just a legend on the Sojourn. There's nothing else to say about it. He's absolutely legendary. Fielder in his sight next. Doesn't want to overpeak this one. Wants Shio instead. That shield's not going to last forever, buddy!
The timing! Why is he even named Shy? He's anything but that! The Atlanta Reign have to shy away from the cart, though, for a few more seconds.
Yeah, he might think himself bashful, but right now he's just bashing in the heads of the Atlanta Reign, who are building up to a critical mass of ultimates, mind you. A rally and a nano in concert is going to be a huge amount of staying power that is going to be very difficult for Hangzhou Spark to try and carve through. They are going to have a nano overclock, mind you, if they give it a little bit more time.
Ooh, that Donghak Primal just tossed Shy into the enemy fire. Donghak is slowed down. Great sleep there by Monk. Atlanta Reign have a one-man advantage, but they gotta heal back up too. Leave dives into the back there to assist Guxue and the supports. Lexa running as far as he can, and he's the only survivor. You got the rally from Chio. Could this be the final push there of the Atlanta Reign? 18 seconds left. Shy fires through. Kill Chio. Fielder's gone. There's no healing for the Atlanta Reign.
There is simply no way. Shy's a magician, a juggernaut, a titan, a god of aim before your eyes is born. Just before the final hurdle, Atlanta Reign shoved back into a phoenix egg. They'll have to be born again on the defense.
Oh, entering that Dragon's Cave, and all Atlanta got was fired. It was 4 minutes that Atlanta had going into that. It got dangerous. Point B, smooth sailing. Yeah, they costed a few minutes on point A. Those teeth are still terrifying. I don't care how many times I've seen them. But this is still an amazing push. No matter how much we're hyping up Hangzhou right now, that is a dangerous push. That's basically a cap.
We've seen this before. On Midtown, Atlanta Reign got stopped on last. They managed to hold Hangzhou Spark on first for so long, and then eventually stopped them completely on second.
Oh, on Midtown, yeah.
So it's definitely, there's some potential for deja vu to strike again here. With the Hangzhou Spark fans in the crowd, they certainly are feeling that this might well be winnable. But for the East, this might be a chance to strike back at the humiliation they suffered during mid-season madness. The entirety of the region essentially flummoxed at the hands of the West. It all comes down to this one last push.
The Atlanta Reign might have tripped up on their laces right at the finish line. But did Hangzhou Spark bring the right sneakers? Because Midtown is not the brand I would sign up for.
What are those?
Yeah, Spark going for dive, thinking about a Zen, but it's just too weak against the dive. It's the Battle of Sojourns again.
And this time Lip's going to have that defensive advantage of being able to start up on the high ground and very much control when these peaks are taken. Remember that Shy is mostly going to be keeping this railgun in reserve for when a squishy peeks him, rather than using it to try and chunk down those enemies, or rather the enemy tank, as Donghak's going to be the one who continually tries to bait that out and absorb the damage.
Spark were so good at stalling out the card on their defense. It was up to these Sojourns to kick off that first blood, and Donghak is punished before he could escape back with no tank. It's the Atlanta Reign poke that can buy themselves a chance, and they can't afford to get staggered, and Spark realizes they're gonna hunt for more. Lip is on the low ground, he missed his jump or something happened, and that cost the Atlanta Reign their entire defense.
Someone scream Monk's name, because baby, whatever he's a monk for, I am a believer in. An unbelievable performance thus far from Diana. It is going to be a touch coming through from Stalker. He's going to be warded away slightly by Guxue. Surely this is going to be a contest, and indeed it is. Plenty of blinks in reserve here. They're just giving it up. Surely they have to give it up entirely. Stalker just can't find a path through. And this is a massive time bank for B. Atlanta Reign, they've chosen stability on second. They're putting all their eggs into a high ground fight basket.
Hangzhou Spark not having really ults to kick things off, but hey, they didn't win that last fight with any ults either. Punishing Donghak seems to be the recipe for success for the Hangzhou Spark. Shy is low. Spark are taking their time. If they're gonna get free progress, they'll just take it. The Atlanta Reign might be the ones who contest this, and Donghak is just gonna be a lot more conservative with his life, and well, Guxue's happy to take damage. This is giving Monk very close to Nano, and Stalker got very close to hitting that pulse bomb.
A weak throwing arm that time around, but this has still brought a little bit more push here. Hangzhou Spark Lit manages to win out against Shy, and that means that it's much safer for Donghak to move on forward. Surely Leave can't turn this one around. No stick this time, and Stalker's got the hot feet to avoid it.
Good timing there from Guxue with the ante, with the attention he got. He's trying to push Donghak into his own team there with the Primal. And hey, getting him low enough, he makes the call with Lip and Stalker, but Donghak gets nanoed, and now he's on top of Lexa. Lengsa, who's rallied, doesn't have the bash available to stop this defense of the Atlanta Reign. And Lip is just in a much more favorable position as the Sojourn to find Lip time and time again!
Peek him, I dare you. Guxue still manages to stray this one out. Monk's taking out his counterpart! Oh, Lengsa, the cross heel here between Monk and Lengsa could be everything. Even the rally's going to be falling as well. Donghak pops the primal, but surely he can't DPS through the bardic grenade healing.
Oh, I don't know what this primal's going to be doing. He couldn't really corner his support. He's barely getting out with his life, but hey, support ult charge, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit of extra support. Oh, that's code, but it is true. And Sai and Monk, look at those 2 percentages. They are beginning to converge. Finally, a stick from Leave. Liv's gone. And that's a huge amount of momentum now for Hangzhou.
These pulse bombs! Good morning, I hope you had breakfast! But Guxue very low, Shy overclock right to the face, and not enough to strike down Chio. When you thought Spark could get away with murder multiple times, the Atlanta Reign make the stop.
An unbelievable strike back from Atlanta Reign. What calm and collected, precise targeting they used to make sure that Hangzhou Spark were not going to be able to get away with that one. Lee finally hits his stick, but still, 4 versus 5 Atlanta Reign, that's where at their best. When they are at their most dire, this is a team that lives on clutch.
Spark gonna try pushing through Cave side to give Shy maybe a more favorable line of sight, but also the anti-grenades from Fielder can get a good bunch of them. Spark lit through it. They got the rally of Lengsa to give them a cushion, but Donghak is just in the middle of them. Spark are still trying to find a safe position, but they nano Guxue, who's going after Stalker and no supports, and Spark fire back, and the Atlanta Reign just couldn't stop them through that cave. And Spark also have gotten progress this entire time.
Again.
Stalker, it's looking good, but the rest of your team's dead, bud.
Stalker did his job, but unfortunately, Guxue just managed to do too much. First catching Chio and then Fielder placed in a nasty position to try and support that Brigitte. However, this is where Atlanta Reign had their time bank drained and slaughtered. When going up against a Sojourn, when going up against an Ana, this is a corridor of death and destruction. Donghak cannot afford to have his primal force. No way!
Play his toes like that! Leave! The hero chases down Donghak! The momentum push begins with Spark having such a similar timing than the Reign, but the box of victory! The crowd for Game 5 is at the end of this map! Will the Spark be stopped?
Well, Liv's got an overclock. There's a primal rage too. There's plenty of staying power here for the Atlanta Reign. All they have to do is use their resources well. Guxue blocks away these squishies, but Slip doesn't hit.
Guxue is just so annoying! This Primal finally jumps out. He knows his push is important and he doesn't want to give it up. Goes back to his team at half health. The rally begins to get Spark in a healthier position. A huge shot hits the Atlanta Reign. Chio rallies the team. The spawns are too far. The Atlanta Reign are dead. The Hangzhou Spark have done it. It's a reverse sweep.
The East demands your respect. Atlanta Reign, your mid-season madness champions, straight down to the lower brackets at the hands of the Hangzhou Spark with a reverse sweep. Unreal.
The #1 seed has been vanquished. Nobody cared about the Hangzhou Spark. Nobody sent them to the other bracket. The Hangzhou Spark APAC are back.
The smiles could not be more prevalent for Hangzhou Spark. A relief more so than anything. So nerve-wracking to go up against a team like the Atlanta Reign, a team where you never know just how powerful they could be. So many times, this could have gone any team's way. Even Suravasa went 2-2 right to the end. It was anybody's game lemon the entire time.
I was just looking at that gaming warlord of Guxue.
You just gotta stare.
Some good cosplays, but also cosplays a reverse sweeper, apparently. What a series! And this is just day one. My voice is out, Golden Boy's voice is out. What a series we've had. Nobody on the desk predicted this. Our perfect bracket prediction, is anyone even gonna win it anymore? Atlanta Reign haven't lost a match on LAN. Hangzhou Spark on that match win streak from APAC will continue it here today on day one of playoffs. And your superstar is Shy.
And what else could we expect from one of the most hyped DPS coming into this season? Shy not only doing his job, but also being the difference maker again and again. It was the Sojourn that turned things around on Suravasa, that continued the motif of outplaying the Sombra composition where he went to Esperanza, and then Lip had to pick up the gauntlet. Atlanta Reign had to play Spark's game, but Shy could not be more comfortable in this position.
Hangzhou had to adapt and overcome. Like, Shy already had to play against Stalker on Tracer. That didn't start off too well. The Ashe also got clobbered by a Sombra and a Doomfist all up his grill, and Shy found the hero, the one that set him apart in playoffs before, and look at that. Shy is a hero. There's nothing more to say.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes, but this one is particularly large. Charge shot kills 8.2 per 10 minutes. That's crazy, because no one was peeking Shy, no one was giving him those angles. It was millimetric plank lengths worth of time were given to try and flick over those shots, and again, Shy managed to do it. This is such a well-deserved player of the match, but all of Hangzhou Spark turned up today against a team that is incredibly stacked. Credit to the Atlanta Reign. They are looking bloody strong. For the Hangzhou Spark, no one expected him to come out like this.
And that's not the only talented team when it comes to APAC. And Hangzhou Spark have proven that APAC got that dog in them. That reverse sweep against the #1 seed. They got to choose who they sent to the other side of the bracket. Atlanta Reign should have reassessed. We have an interview with someone on the stage. Let's go check in with Golden Boy.
Did you just come here
With Shy from the Spark. My man went out there and crushed it today. Congratulations. First and foremost, how does it feel to have an opportunity to play in front of this incredible crowd here in Toronto in person?
对，你今天在这么多观众面前线下比赛有什么感受？
我觉得人生就是那种快乐的时光很少，我觉得就现在这种让二聚餐，这种机会也特别的少，所以我觉得这种让二聚餐我特别的开心。那我觉得这是人生非常难忘的时刻。
Yeah. So to have this opportunity, it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be playing in front of all of these people, and I'm obviously so happy this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Incredible. Now, you guys were, down 2-0. We know the Atlanta Reign are an incredible team. Were you guys worried? Were you worried that you wouldn't be able to bring it back and get this win, or were you confident the entire time?
所以就是说，亚特兰大这个对战特别强。你当时就是输了两个地图的时候，你们有没有就是很紧张，在想我们能不能赢这场比赛？
我觉得我们有一定的信心吧，因为我觉得我们这一路走来非常的不容易，我觉得我们都在互相鼓励彼此，然后互相帮助彼此，就是这一路上走来，让我们成长了太多了。
So obviously we had a certain amount of confidence going in. This is a very tough and long journey for us, but obviously we are very happy to have made it here. So.
Well, I think everyone's happy that you made it here as well, Shy. Congratulations on the win. Well done. We do a little handshake. Boom. Also, big shout out to Jessie. First translation on the main stage. Give it up for her. And we're going to send it right back over to the desk. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jesse GB, and of course, a huge congratulations to the Hangzhou Spark. What a match! This was so close. This could have gone either way, but it didn't. We were all wrong. We got it horribly wrong. All right.
I mean,
we
we're
counted out
always
the
wrong
Hangzhou.
anyways.
Yeah,
APAC
what's
is in
news?
shambles.
What's news?
I'm in shambles. Shy
But
clears.
Shy cleared,
He's
but like the
different.
entire team.
He's not like the others.
Whoa!
Oh, Jake, I'm gonna let you finish. For the Hangzhou Spark, one of the best East teams of all time, and they are done with their NA merchant narrative peddling. Okay, what are you gonna say? We're gonna say, Cope for me, Cope.
It's unlucky meta. Lip doesn't play that much Sojourn, and it's not like Thank you,
Thank you so
Avril.
much,
Thank you, Avril.
Avril, he's been waiting for that a long
Yeah.
time.
That crazy fan who just came on stage. Security.
I have you know that he watched the matches on the other side of the stadium. He came up here, like he was walking
ready.
upstairs.
I deserve it.
just
I
to
deserve
gloat.
it.
You did
I'm the
gloat
number
early
one
on.
West stand. I still believe, guys. I still believe.
Rain is gonna clear the lower bracket. It's fine. It's fine. But what an incredible match. Let's break it all down. Let's talk about how they got it done. We expected a compositional clash here. What is what we got?
Okay, so the thing is, I mean, generally in Overwatch, it leans towards Winston. The pro players want to play Winston. We have so many great Winston players here in the playoffs, and Dongak is one of them. But the real story for this match was really how Hangzhou Spark forced Atlanta Reign away from the Sombra pick. Sombra has obviously been a staple hero the entire season, but a few changes to Sombra's kit means that Sojourn can actually stand up to this composition quite well. And in the end, when the reverse sweep was coming through, it was Shy with his Sojourn and Monk's Nanos and Biotic Grenades on Diana, who really set the stage for Hangzhou Spark to reverse sweep this series. Really impressive to force Atlanta Reign away from their comfort zone.
Yeah, I really was impressed by Monk and Lengsa as well, staying alive so well as a duo. Holding their own against Chio and Fielder is something that almost no one else in the league has been able to do thus far. And you felt Atlanta felt the limit. They went into those last 3 maps thinking, Sombra's better, we're going to play Sombra, we know we can win this matchup. And at the end of this 4th map, Lit felt it. He was like, we're losing, I need to play Sojourn. And it looked like the right pick. But on map 5, it's still incredibly close. Spark was just too good. They're more well practiced on this composition, and they're incredibly effective in their comfort zone.
I will already say, I mean, we should still watch out for Atlanta Reign, because if Lip starts, picking up the Soldier now,
give Lip a couple scrims.
Danny, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. We made him mad.
I think Hangzhou Spark definitely deserved it. They were amazing against Atlanta Reign, but it was a super close match, right? And of course, Atlanta lost just by the end, like just there, right? But that they're still looking very scary. And I know, of course, because they didn't have to play play-ins. They were, they weren't on stage. They last time they played was
that the Cope?
That is Cope.
That is Cope.
That
feels like a Cope to me. It feels like a Cope.
They're gonna come back.
It's fine. But no. Truth be told, like you said, it was a close game. You're looking at that second point here on Route 66. It was scrappy. Both teams made a lot of mistakes there. There were missed pulse bombs. There were a lot of juggles which didn't quite work out for either Winstons. So I think they played on a very high level, but both teams felt the pressure because they both played against formidable opponents. Let's actually take a look at our updated bracket to see where we're currently standing, with Atlanta Reign taking the L here in the first match. Their series against the Hangzhou Spark, which will be moving on in the winner's bracket. This changes so many things. I'm actually...
Atlanta Reign are facing 2 elimination matches.
I know.
Unbelievable.
But if a team can get it done, it's that. If I were a team now, which was confident to maybe clear the lower bracket, maybe not so much anymore, because now Atlanta Reign is waiting down there for you.
I mean, if I'm Boston or London, I'm like, the lower bracket is lava. Don't touch the lower bracket. We gotta go 2-0.
Literally.
I mean, also, think about Spark right now, having to worry about which opponent you're going to get. You have 2 matches on the opposite side of the spectrum, whether it's Boston going up or Spitfire. That's so hard to prepare for. So Spark, going to be a lot of pressure on them. Can they beat very, very different styles? We saw a little bit of a meta develop in this match, but I think there's so much more to develop in this playoff. I think we're going to see a lot more compositions based on the matchups that the teams bring us going forward.
Absolutely. Now our second match of the day will be in the second bracket. We get to that in just a little bit, so stick around for our breakdown for the Dallas Fuel and the Seoul Infernal. But first, I want you all to, get chained to your seats. Nothing subtle about that transition. The Chained King is on sale right now, so make sure to grab him while he's hot, or cold rather. And whilst you're in the shop, why don't you just pick up the entire Reaper bundle? That's right, it includes the Prideful Reinhardt skin, and of course it also is coming with a beautiful golden weapon charm, so you definitely want to cop that while you can. And now we are, of course, this was just the first match, and I'm already exhausted. I'm already. We need a breather. We need a breather, and we want to give you one as well. So stick around. We're heading into a very quick break, and when we come back, we're going to break down all the action for our second match of the day.